Well, hello everybody. This is a DJI Mini 3 Pro mid-April lake flight. And if we can find our way out of the fog again to the landing pad and the takeoff spot, we should be good to go. We usually do. Let's see. There it is. And here we go. As you can tell, it's a little bit of a windy day. Winds were 10 to 15 miles an hour. And temperature is in the low 70s. And we're headed over the lake for a little flight. Headed due south now. We've got an ND8 filter on this time. Usually I don't run filters, but I did put one on today. So everything looks good so far. She's handling the wind. This is Thelma Lou. She is my Mini 3 Pro. And she wants to get some wind up her skirt today, so we're taking her for a little flight. This is one of the local area lakes, and it has a lot to be seen around it. It's got a nice big golf course and soccer fields, softball fields. So we'll take a little run around the lake here and see what we can see. Headed almost due south now into a pretty good headwind. Actually, she's blowing a little bit from my left to my right, but not too bad. The Mini 3, she seems to handle winds up to 20 to 25 miles an hour max. Not too bad. Once you get up 25 and so, she just doesn't have the weight to handle that very well, so she gets blown around quite a bit when you get up there around that. But other than that, she flies great in the wind. She has been flying great for me. No problems at all as far as handling or anything. She doesn't have the greatest range, doesn't have the range that my Mini 2 has, but I don't need that far of range or great distance. So you can see those softball fields over there to the left. We'll come back and take a look at those in a minute. I'm going to try to hug this shoreline a little bit and probably go up one of the main channels of the lake. There's two main channels on this lake. There's a lot of small finger coves and channels running in and off of it, but this is a man-made lake, and it's not that old a lake. I would imagine, geez, it's probably, I don't know, it's less than 50 years old. I know that for sure. Probably less than 40 years old, maybe around 30 years old. But she is not very old. I remember when they put it in. So anyway, we're just looking at some of the fingers and coves around here. You can see it's starting to green up outside. Still a lot of brown in the woods, but mostly everything is starting to bud out and turn green. There's a redbud tree there. You can see the trees they left in the water when they flooded the lake. And those always give me pause, especially fishing this lake at night. It's not as bad as some of the other lakes we have in our state, but got to be careful in the coves. And even in the main channel there, once you get up to the fingers, it can get pretty hairy. Boy, there's some good fishing in there around those submerged trees, that's for sure. So we'll take a run up. I think this is the eastern cove or eastern finger of the lake. I said there are two main fingers, so we'll fly up this one and see what we can see. Not a lot of boaters out on the lake today. There were a few that came in on my video that will be following this one. It started picking up a little bit, but look at the trees scattered around here now. Can you imagine going through there at night? There's some people tied off to one of the trees there. It looks like they're fishing or doing something. Kayaks, it looks like almost. I don't want to hit one of those, I'll tell you. But there's such good fishing in these coves and stuff. I fished a lot of these coves at night with floating lights and stuff like that. So it can be a little bit spooky when you're going in and out of those trees. Just got to take it slow and easy, and always have a good light, someone that's operating it for you so you know where you're going. So we're going to run up here a little ways more, where this finger ends. And usually I see turkeys and deer out in these fields, but I haven't seen very many turkeys this year. Not sure why. It is turkey season here in this state. So they are breeding. The toms are breeding the hens right now, so you catch them out in the fields quite a bit. This weather, feeling their oats, so to speak, but I haven't seen very many this year, just a few. We'll run up here and we'll get to the edge of this finger, and we will cross the road, I believe. See what's on the other side a little ways. We won't go much further than that. You can see there's one of the creeks, rivers, whatever you want to call it, that runs into the lake there. And that backwater backs up right to the highway there. It's really not much of a highway, it's just a road. But the river goes right underneath that bridge there and carries on. And I don't know where it goes way the heck back there, and we ain't going that far. But it looks like that river is quite full too. We have got a little rain around here, but not a tremendous amount of rain this spring. So looking to remedy that in the next couple of days with some more rain coming in. Temperatures dropping back more seasonal, highs in the low 60s, low 50s actually, highs in the 50s and low around 30. So a lot of people got their gardens out already. Going to have to cover them up the next couple of days here. So we'll run along the edge of this field and see if we see any wildlife, which we have not so far. And I think it's very unusual because I usually see a lot of turkey in this area. Still headed due south, and I think we're going to call that a flight and get ready to turn around and bring her on back. There we go. You see everything's starting to green up pretty good. Still a lot of brown in the woods. I like it. I like filming when it's got a lot of brown in the woods like that. The winter and fall are my favorite times to fly and film, just because the contrast of the land and the game trails and all, you can see all the little nuances that you can't see once all the foliage is out. So that is my favorite time to fly. So we're coming back over the highway, no traffic. So we'll scoot over, and we're going to follow this finger back towards the main channel. You can see where that muddy creek ends up in the lake here. You can see the mud that it's bringing in and the silt from the air. You can't see that a lot of times when you're down low, but when you get up in the air, you can see how far that carries. And we're going to hug the right side of the lake, or this channel, see what we can see. I'm surprised there's not more fishermen out. Like I said, later on in another video, later in the day, a few boats started coming onto the lake and a few fishermen. But this lake gets packed. Metropolitan lake like this. In the summertime, I mean, it is just packed with people. They got a couple beaches on the lake, in the marina. And this is a golf course that we're coming up on now that adjoins the lake. And to the right of that golf course, we have a junior community college. And you'll see some of all the things they've got out there also. There's a nice cove. Sparse trees here and there in the water. So we're going to fly over this direction and kind of skirt the golf course a little bit, I think. See if there's anybody out there slicing any balls, which I was very prolific at many, many years ago. I don't golf anymore. Oh, let's see. Okay, here's one of the. No, that isn't. I thought that was one of the starting holes, but I guess it isn't. Further up here, we're gonna come by. We're gonna go down this road. We're gonna come by the ball fields first. They've got 4 or 5 ball fields here, and they look like they're softball fields because they don't look like they're big enough to be baseball fields. But we'll take a look at it and we'll let you decide yourself. So follow this road up and we'll come on to fields real quick here. There we go. Well, we're going to skedaddle, just drift to the right here a little bit, and we'll get above the fields nobody's playing right now, so won't be any problem there. So we can let the wind carry us to the right a little bit. There we go. And that's pretty neat looking, isn't it, from the air? Like 5 fields, and I don't know if they're all the same size. I don't think so. But I guess you could probably play baseball on it, but it sure doesn't look like it's deep enough to play baseball to me. But maybe on the one field, but everything else looks like softball fields to me. Anyway, nobody playing today. But that kind of looks neat from the air, so we'll skedaddle along the edge of it right now. Ooh, that looks nice. Taking good care of that grass there. We'll get back up here along the edge of the lake here real quick. See if we can get the rest of that golf course in view. There are a lot of redbud trees in there. Start seeing them, the purples and reds. There's some of the golf course to the right. Let's see if we can go to the right a little bit here and get some of that in our picture. We're out headed towards the main body of the lake now. It's not a huge lake, but it's a nice sized lake. There we go. And you can see how fast it drops off. And this is a man-made lake. They dug most of this out. Made it basically the way they wanted to. We're coming up now. We'll drift to the right here a little bit. Headed due north now. And we're with the wind a little bit. The wind has died down. I think it's probably about 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour now, which is no problem for the Mini 3. Can handle it with and no problems at all. We'll see if we're going to come back in for a landing here. Lots of green, starting to green up everywhere. Like I said, I like flying in the fall and the winter most of all. The spring, once everything gets green, it's just like it's overwhelming. That's all you see is green foliage wherever you go. So, but winter is over, and this is the time of year for ticks and mowing lawns. So here we come down a little bit, losing a little altitude here. Used to be a big rock pile right there, but they spread all that out and made it a little bit easier to fish off of this point right here. I think in the next video that I'm going to put up, you'll see more of that golf course. I think I take a short flight over to the golf course. So that will be in the next lake video coming shortly to a YouTube channel, namely mine, near you. Okay, like I said in The Wizard of Oz, disregard that old man standing there. He's a figment of your imagination. if he doesn't fall down. There's a few rocks there that you can stumble on. Anyway, that's the flight for this morning. Like I said, there's at least one or two more coming from this lake. A little bit shorter flights. But I will share them with you as soon as I get them finished. There you go. One more look at the water. We're going to back up. Try to treat each other the way you want to be treated. You know, that golden rule is still a good thing, still applies. It seems to be a good way to treat everybody. Stay safe out there. We'll get a chance. We're going to share another video with you very soon. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you fly, fly safe. Let's see if we can get her in here right now. Okay, just over there. There you are. Oh, right there. That's it. Take care, people.